heaven, Mac.
Recently, Nintendo silently revealed the age of Bowser, the king of the Koopas. The age was discreetly showcased in an unlisted help video titled Nintendo Switch How-To Series, How to Create a Nintendo Account. Like I said, the video is unlisted, so you won't be able to find it just by a simple search, so I linked it in the description down below. Anyway, the video revealed Bowser's birthday as February 5th, 1989. So if we were to do the simple math of 2023 minus 1989, which I definitely didn't use a calculator for, we would soon discover that Bowser's in-game canon age is 34. What might be useless information to some people, I found to be really enlightening. I like knowing the unimportant facts of my favorite characters, like their favorite foods, the things they do in their free time when they aren't beating the villain. These things to me help expand the world building and allow me to see how much thought the creators put into their creations. I imagine you have similar thoughts to mine, seeing as though you clicked on this video. Anyway, after finding out this information about Bowser's age, I was left hungry for more knowledge. I wanted to know, or at least attempt to figure out, the ages of the many other characters within the series. Unfortunately, a lot of them are not as straightforward as figuring out Bowser's age, but I think knowing the specifics of Bowser's helps calculate all of the other ones too. So without further introduction, grab your popcorn as today I attempt to figure out the age of several Super Mario characters. Much like Bowser, Bowser Jr.'s age was actually listed personally by Nintendo within the same how-to series video. All that was required to do was some very simple math. Bowser Jr.'s birthday is listed as March 3rd, 2010. From there I subtracted 2010 from 2023 and got 13. Bowser Jr. is officially 13. To be honest, this is not what I was expecting. I was thinking he'd be aged from like 6 to 10, but it's still cool to have this confirmation. One could argue that obtaining the approximate age number for the Plumber Brothers is easier than that of both Bowser and Bowser Jr., which is a valid point. Nintendo has gone on record multiple times stating the age of Mario. Seeing as though they are twins, once you know the age of one, you know the age of the other. Back in 2001, the game Super Smash Bros. Melee had listed that Mario was exactly 26 years old. However, in the year 2005, Miyamoto had an interview when she stated that Mario was, and I quote, about 24 or 25 years old. While the ages suggested don't line up perfectly, the general theme is pretty clear. Mario is in his mid-20s, meaning Luigi is the same. Because the listings for Mario range from 24 to 26, I'm going to say that for the sake of being precise, Mario is 25 years old as well as his brother Luigi. The age of Princess Peach will be significantly difficult to conclude due to the fact that unlike all the other characters here, we have specific information from Nintendo. So from this point forward, Peach and all of the other upcoming characters presented in this video will have their ages approximated. I will be using research and game canon analysis to properly gauge a specific age. That said, I believe that knowing the age of Bowser, Bowser Jr., and the Mario Brothers will help substantially. Moving things back to Peach here, you really have to be careful what you see on the internet. If you carelessly look up how old is Princess Peach, you will likely run into an article boldly claiming that she is 16 years old. Obviously, if this was true, there would be lots of problems. Instead, we will have to go back and take a look at Yoshi's Island DS to examine the 7 Star Children. Now, the Star Children are characters within the series who, as Kamek puts it, possess extraordinary power. The 7 Star Children are Mario, Luigi, Peach, Donkey Kong, Wario, Bowser, and Yoshi. You would think that just by looking at this graphic here, that all of the babies would be the same age. However, as I previously stated, Mario and Luigi are currently 25 years old, and Bowser is 34. So at this time, where we see the characters as babies, one would assume the brothers in this instance are perhaps 18 months old, as Mario is capable of running when he becomes Superstar Mario. Although, Mario is incapable of simple speech, as all he seems to do in the game is cry. We hear him speak later in the game Mario and Luigi partners in time, but at this point he is no longer wearing diapers and instead sporting his iconic outfit and oversized hat. That in mind, I am actually going to have to disagree. I believe that Mario in the very first Yoshi's Island game is at most 1 year old. At this stage, Mario has not yet started talking, but is capable of running only because he's come in contact with the Superstar, an item known to provide the user with strength and speed they otherwise would not have been able to obtain. The Superstar at this young age provided baby Mario with not only power, but also allowed him to run before he could even walk. Bowser, on the other hand, was capable of speech before Mario could even walk. So if Mario was at 1 year of age at this time doing the math, Bowser would have to be maybe 10. Although for a 10-year-old, his speech is not the greatest, even if you can understand him. His speech gets better as the games go on, as he's able to speak fluent sentences in Mario and Luigi Partners in Time and in Yoshi's Island DS, but going back to Partners in Time, Mario and Luigi are actually capable of communication, but saying only a few words, not speaking in full sentences yet. Peach, however, only cries. Using this information, I would assume that perhaps baby Mario and baby Luigi are 2-year-olds at this point in time, and perhaps baby Peach likely just turned 1 as as she seems to be incapable of communication and does not walk, as she's always seen in a stroller or carried by Toadsworth. Using that perhaps long-winded analysis, I can conclude that if the Mario Brothers are 25, Peach is probably around 24. The age of Donkey Kong might be the most confusing. DK as a baby was one of the 7 star children, so presumably he would be around the same age as Mario. But the current Mario canon complicates things because during the days of the original Donkey Kong game, this older version of Mario is fighting a younger version of Cranky Kong, and the current Donkey Kong that we all know and love is the grandson of Cranky. It doesn't make sense that an older Mario be fighting a younger version of Cranky if he and DK are the same age, especially if Donkey Kong Jr. wasn't even in the picture yet. You could make an argument that baby Donkey Kong is actually Cranky Kong, but that doesn't make much sense either because the DK logo was never worn by him in any capacity. Other than that, there is no true solid information to really pinpoint the age of Donkey Kong. This is really the most we have. That said, because he was born around the same time as Mario and Yoshi's Island DS, I'm gonna say he's also in his 20s. I believe he could either be the same age or younger than Mario, but I can't see him being older. Again, there isn't much evidence to say one way or the other, but this is the best conclusion I could come to. Wario is supposedly a childhood friend or rival to Mario. The two characters grew up together, so this is another easy one. While once again this is yet another one we can't identify a precise age for, Wario is one of the 7 star children and was born around the same time as the other characters previously discussed. In his first canonical appearance in Yoshi's Island DS, he has a full heated banter with baby Bowser. He is capable of conversing fluently, so I would assume that he perhaps is slightly older than the Mario Bros. Also, this may not be game canon material, but in one of the Super Mario Adventures comics, Mario and Wario's relationship is explored to a certain extent. We see how the two characters treat one another when they were kids, and how they interact now. The story starts off with Wario saying, "It's been 20 years, and he still makes me furious." The next few panels depict them as kids, and we know that Mario is supposed to be 25, so that would mean that in these panels Mario is 5 years old. Wario looks to be about the same age, and using the information we learned from Yoshi's Island, it's perhaps true that he is slightly older. Again, even though it's not game canon material, it has a Nintendo seal of approval, so I give it a pass. Also, these comics are awesome, so they deserve to be mentioned. Now I know Yoshi is the name of the entire species, but I'm talking about the one that appears in the adventures with Mario in games like Odyssey, Mario Galaxy 2, and so on and so forth. This is the main Yoshi, making his first canonical appearance in the Yoshi's Island DS as something of a post-credit scene, if you will. Yoshi is the youngest of the Star Children. In order to figure out how much younger, we would have to analyze the time span it took from the beginning of Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, all the way to the end of Yoshi's Island DS. This can be said because at the beginning of Yoshi's Island DS, Yoshi, and I quote, recognizes one of the babies, which is Mario. There is no specific confirmed time period on how canonically far apart these games were, but not to sound overly repetitive, but Yoshi is likely probably in his early 20s. Unfortunately, that's the best I could do with this character. Now that we've explored the ages of every single star child, the next character I want to look at is Rosalina. She is a very interesting character because while one can assume based on her look she's likely in her 20s, she's actually a character over hundreds of years old. We know this is true because in Mario Galaxy, we find out that she revisits Earth every 100 years. It's safe to assume that this is an occurrence that happens more often than once, as she uses the word every to indicate that this is something that she's done consistently. This makes Rosalina the oldest character by far. I wanted to end this video by taking a look at Kamek, specifically the one that raised Bowser. Now, as we have discussed, the youngest we have seen Bowser in the games is the age of 10 years old. At this time, Kamek was already leading a force of toadies and served as a father figure to baby Bowser. Kamek was experienced without question. I mean, when you think about it, he was fighting Mario when the mustachioed hero was no more than just an infant, and even now, 24 years later, he continues to fight Mario. With Bowser currently at the age of 34, I would have to say that Kamek is likely over 60 years of age. I really do wish I could have been more precise with the characters featured in the latter half of the video, but I could only use the information that was already at my disposal. Nonetheless, I think I did a pretty good job. I would have loved to figure out the ages of Captain Toad, Waluigi, and Daisy, but those are far less clear with practically no information whatsoever. Even still, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below, and also leave me a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Anyway, with all that said and done, thanks so much for watching. This is Sonic signing out. Have a super blessed day, y'all.
Why are you playing that trash?